If you can take anything away from the last 5 minutes, it's my shoes are fucking heaps newer than yours.
Somewhere unseen, it got a little longer, so it seems.
Welcome to chapter 146 of Chronicles of a Light-Skinned Lad with brand spanking new shoes. Yep, that's right. If you're an audio listener, listen to this. They're fucking hot off the press. Did you want to know what modern sounds like? That's the sound of the future. Okay, I can still, dude, these are so new. I can still literally smell the tears of the 9-year-old that made them. And by the way, before you think that was some derogatory, cheap joke about cruel conditions in sweatshops and child labor, think again. They were tears of happiness. All right, because the kid who made these was like, fuck, I just made the newest shoes in the world. And then he got a promotion, and now he's the CEO of Vans Off the Wall. And that's not a free plug. Well, actually it is. They didn't pay me, but really, for what they've given me the newest shoes in the world, that's honestly the least I could do. It's isn't it crazy? You guys would have no idea, because obviously I've got the newest shoes in the world, but you would have no perspective of what it's like every day being me, walking around with the newest shoes in the world. Now, I'll do a bit of a backtrack. Are these shoes brand new? Yes. Have I been saying they're new for a while? Yes. Contradictory statement? No. Here's the thing. Yes, I have new shoes. Originally, I was trying to keep it on the DL. I didn't want anyone to know about my shoes. It was supposed to be a thing for me. So I was like, I'm just going to do my best to suppress this information and keep it between close friends. And apparently, talking about it every day on Instagram and, you know, bringing it up on podcasts and Instagram posts and stuff. Look, apparently somehow it leaked. The information got out there. And as to whose fault it was, no idea. I was trying to keep it under the radar. And yes, I chucked in a few YouTube videos, but that was accidental. It slipped in the edit, but I was really trying to keep it under wraps. But the news is out there. People know about it. I got new shoes, and boy, it's been a roller coaster of, I guess, a month, a week, who knows? That's the thing. I forget how long I've even had them for because they're still so new. And you know what does need to stop and cease altogether is just the negativity and the doubt in some of my comment sections on Instagram. And you guys probably think I'm crazy, and I thought I was crazy too. I thought my eyes were bad. I read some comment just said, old shoes. And this is what I did. I went, what? Fuck, I am blind. I just had to rub my eyes because I was like, those shoes seem pretty new to me. Yep, I must be blind. And then turns out, I just am followed by some fucking morons out there. I tell you what, someone said, I don't know, they look pretty scuffed. Hey man, the only thing scuffed here is your judgment of contemporary footwear, okay? That seems a little scuffed to me. Seems like you don't even know what a new shoe is. Megan knows. She said, oh my God, I love your new shoes. And she capitalized new to really point out how recent they are, how modern. That's the sound of them coming hot off the press still. That's the thing. They're so new. They're so new that they keep reminding you how new they are. Hang on. I'll put my shoe to the microphone. Listen to this. For all the audio listeners, I'll just put my shoe up to the microphone. Now, that was the shoe, not my mouth. So if you... Hang on. That's what the future sounds like. Bitch. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. This is the picture of my new shoes, and it says, that's what the future sounds like. And then on the back, it just says, bitch. So if you're walking away from someone, they're just like, why the fuck does this guy have bitch on the back of their t-shirt? Oh, man. People don't understand. You know what? It's jealousy. I think it's jealousy. People don't get what it's like to have the most modern shoes in the world. Fresh off the shelf. Oh, well, you know how new they are? Like, you know when Marty McFly goes into the future and gets those brand new Nikes, and they light up and they go around his foot, and they're self-tying shoes, and everyone watched that shit back in the day and was like, what the fuck? Those shoes are so new. My shoes are newer than that, and those shoes are from the fucking future. I mean, actually, technically, they're from 2015 in a hypothetical utopia, or not utopia, a hypothetical timeline that never existed, because we've been to 20. Look, the point is, whatever, man. I don't have to sit here and justify it. That's the thing. I made me so angry, man. I was going down these comments, and I was just like, I thought my fans were intelligent, but apparently I'm the dumbest person in the world, because you are what you put out. But, you know, it's not all of them. It's just it's a minority. Yeah, Charlie just said old news, and I just rubbed my eyes, and I was like, I need to go to Specsavers, because they look like... Because I looked at the photo again, and I was like, well, those shoes look new as fuck. And you look, if they were referring to this rip on the side, that just shows how new they are. This is how I look at it. You see a 70-year-old man at the beach going for a swim at 6 a.m. He's got a good rig, no saggy tits yet. He has his vitamins, and he's smiling at 6 a.m. He also rode a scooter there, a Razor scooter, and he's got a mohawk. That guy's not old. That guy has a zest for life. Or, I mean, look, it's also probably a cry for help if he has a mohawk, but, you know, that guy, the point is, it's an attitude. That guy is living young, and I would say that guy, look at this young tacker going in for a swim, and some people might be like, but Luke, he physically looks 70 years old. And I say, yeah, but do a brain scan, because he probably has he clearly, look at his hair. He has the emotional intelligence of a 14-year-old. That's a young man, all right? And these are new shoes, because I believe that they're new, and you can't take that away from me. It's a belief. It's the way you wear them. That's what it bothers me. Like, people going, oh, they look old. It's like, so do you. You stop drinking, you know what I mean? So do I. I look 40. I'm young as shit. All right, that doesn't mean I'm just because I drink too much and hit the world gym less frequently than I should. It doesn't mean I'm not young, you know. And same with these shoes, just because they have a few grazes on them as a reminder of how new they are. Whatever, man. I don't care. You know what? It's been good, though, meeting people at the regional tour who had some new shoes, because I was wearing my new shoes every night. And a bloke in Bundaberg came up to me. He got it, right? Came up to me. He had a hole in the bottom of his shoes. He goes, hey, look, Luke, new shoes. And I was like, God damn, this guy gets it. It's a belief. Who am I to say he didn't get them yesterday either? You know? I don't know how that hole got there. Sure, they looked a little warm, but I was like, those are the second newest shoes I've ever seen behind mine. I mean, to be honest, I have no idea if he even got the joke, or if I don't know if he even knew that I had new shoes. He just went, look, Luke, I got new shoes, and they had a hole in the bottom. Now, he could have just been bragging about a new purchase he made. Who knows? But I liked his energy. That's what we need in the world at the moment. A little bit of positivity. And what a great start to the podcast this was, you know? Just a reminder that everything is a mindset. And if you can take anything away from this, it's not some bullshit moral thing. It's not, you're not going to learn anything from this podcast, okay? This is not an episode of Modern Family where there's like some family-friendly twist at the end. If you can take anything away from the last 5 minutes, it's my shoes are fucking heaps newer than yours. And take that as you leave it. All right? Are you getting what I'm putting down? Are you receiving? Or are you collecting what I'm putting on the shelf? You know? Are you wiping what I'm dripping all everywhere? Cool. That's good. So that's it. And I'm wearing them right now, and goddamn, my feet feel young. I feel like so modern wearing them. Oh, what do I want to talk about? Oh, obviously, crazy times at the moment. My new shoes. Also, lesser news, that virus that's, taking over the world. But not many people have been talking about that. It's been pretty much, seen a lot of press about my new kicks. But a few people have been talking about the virus, which is interesting. Seems like a bit of a page threer when you've got bigger shit like my foot, and what's on it. It just seems like, anyway, but people are talking about this virus, and landed some toilet paper this morning. That's it. Buckets. Because usually this sound effect, obviously, because I'm getting buckets, I hit fat swishes all the time. My life is
Swish, swish, bish. Another one in the best.
right, but recently, career-wise, hard to be hitting buckets when you can't do your job. Not allowed to perform. It's currently illegal. Never thought comedy would be outlawed. I did. I thought comedy would be outlawed, but for different reasons, due to political correctness, stuff like that. Never thought it would people just wouldn't be allowed to come out of their homes to watch me. But, so I'm not allowed to do that anymore. But, what was I saying? Dude, I lose my train of thought so quickly. Whatever. It probably wasn't even important. The point is, I got toilet paper this morning. So I was going to the shops, right? And we were just cruising by. Now, in the back of our mind, we're like, look, we are running low. Toilet paper's hard to get at the moment. We'll just try. And I'm sick of people talking about the toilet paper thing. But what I do want to say is I ended up getting some. Whoop-de-doo. I walked past it right when they walked out. It was very convenient. Great. What I witnessed while reaching for the toilet paper was one of those special moments in life that it's like a fleeting moment where when you're in the moment, you don't realize how good it was. It's only after it happened do you look back at it and go, I'm going to tell 3 people about this. That was amazing. So in this case, I'm about to tell thousands because I was reaching for the toilet paper. Some old bloke walking past with the trolley. He's maybe 70 years old, but, he's probably the incredibly young and youthful. But he wasn't. This guy was old, Had old shoes on, nowhere near as recent as mine. And he was walking past with his trolley. There was a Woolies employee guarding the toilet paper, making sure everyone took one. And he goes, because he didn't have a price tag on it, the toilet paper. They just bought it straight out fresh from the, the back of the shop or whatever. And the old bloke goes, "Excuse me, mate, how much for the TP?" And already I'm like, fuck, this is going to be good. And then the guy who worked there was like, $9, mate. It's $9. And then he goes, the old guy, it looked like, I thought he was about to have a stroke. He just goes, and by the way, it was a 9-pack, so quite expensive, $1 a roll. They've really jacked up the prices. The old guy realized that and he goes, what? $9? And he goes, yep, $9, mate. And the old guy just looked at the floor, looked back at the guy, looked at the toilet paper, then just went, mate, I got a shower. She'll be right. And then just kept walking. Fucking awesome move by the old guy. He's just like, mate, times are tough, but I'm not paying $9 to wipe my ass. And that guy's living his best life. I love people that are so them. You know what I mean? That guy was just 100% old guy, which was his identity. And you can't knock that. And the guy who worked at Woolies looked at him like, what a cheapskate. And I was like, no, this man's a hero. You have middle-aged white women here literally throwing haymakers, like throat punching each other over fucking poo tickets in public. And you've got this old guy that's lived through probably the Second World War, right? Or maybe not. Let's do some maths. Look, probably not. He's probably born around that time, right? Anyway, he's lived through a bunch of shit, and he just goes, nah, $9. And you know what was great about it is because I watched that, I went and found the guy again. I walked out of my way. I walked into another aisle because I was like, oh my God. So this guy won't pay $9 for toilet paper. I want to know what he will pay full price for. I want to know what he deems more important than wiping his asshole for the next couple of weeks. So I had a quick look in his trolley as I walked past him. Full price crumpets, 3 packets. I know they're at least $4.50, $5 a pack for 6. So that's $15 almost on crumpets. I mean, he's probably just going to wipe his ass with the crumpets and then just fucking tell someone it's peanut butter. Sorry, that was a really gross joke. But honestly, it'd be cheaper at this point to just buy little pikelets or buy the... That's actually a good solution. Just buy pancake mix, cook them up, wait for them to cool, but not fully. Still get them when they're warm. Oi, Meg, do you reckon you could wipe your ass with a pancake? No, not wipe giraffes. Fucking hell. Doesn't matter. Do you reckon it'd be possible to wipe your ass with a pancake? She said, depends how rubbery the pancake is. I reckon you could. Anyway, it's just an idea. I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying times are tough. And look, I'm not going to judge you. You know, if someone sends me an email going, Luke, I done did it, you know? Yeah, I mean, look, it's... Fuck it, man. Like, you honestly, pancakes are designed to put sticky shit on. It's like maple syrup or shit. What's the difference? Anyway, sorry. This is getting graphic. I'll move on. You know what I'm sick of about this whole, virus thing? 2 things I'm sick of. 1, people dying. That's a bummer. And 2, every time I go on YouTube, and I've watched a couple of YouTubers talking about it, I'm sick of it. Not them talking about it. I'm just sick of every time a YouTuber talks about it, they go, now, obviously, guys, I'm not an expert, okay? I'm not qualified to give medical advice, and they just do a little, they just throw it in there to save themselves of any burden. I'm not any YouTuber, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, forget what you've heard anywhere else. Oh, but I'm a doctor. Shut the fuck up, okay? I'm an expert. Here's how we're going to solve the coronavirus, COVID-19, with Luke Kidgell. Let's do it. Oh, but Luke, what are your qualifications? Dude, I got a master's degree in don't fucking question me, and I got a doctorate and start taking fucking notes, okay? Step 1. We're all going to go outside and boost our immunity. This is how we're going to solve it as a global population. All binding together. Everyone, stay indoors, don't spread it. Yeah, that's going to help your immune system. Sanitize everything. Fuck no. Go out there, eat some mud, kiss a bird, lick a trolley, shelve a booger. Okay? Don't even pick your own nose and eat it. Pick your nose, shove it up your mate's ass. You know? That's the polite thing to do. Oh, Luke, that's gross. Yeah, but you do, that's the good thing to do. Help a brother out, Oh, if your mate came up to you, boop, you're like, oi, what are you doing? Just boosting your immunity. Don't judge him. Oh, thank you. But look, obviously, I'm an expert. So take this all on board, by the way, and hopefully you're taking notes. And I just think that's it. I think I've just solved it right there. And look, that might be controversial. People might be like, but Luke, I work in the medical profession, and I just think that, telling people that you're hey, don't worry about it. I just sorted it. Take the weekend off. Take the week off. I got you. Thank fuck I solved that. Can we talk about something else now? Because I've literally solved the world's crisis. I expect to wake up tomorrow and have no problems. You know what the thing with this is? It's honestly the first time ever an issue... This is going to sound so privileged. It's the first time ever I've been affected by an issue. It's the first time I've ever had a problem. Like, I'm not talking little problems. It's the first time I've ever actually been, I guess, affected by something on such a large scale. Never been caught up in a war zone. Never had, like, you know what I'm talking about? Things out of your control where you're just, like, people live every day around the world in war zones, places where there's air raids, that people are dying of famine, disease. Like, that's, never have I I'm not saying this is like that either, but I'm saying this is the first time something completely out of everyone's control, and I'm sure a lot of people have had that too. It's the first time really in Australia anything bad's happened here. And I think it's crazy. What do I want to talk about? Yeah, I wrote something down. I've solved the coronavirus. That was on my list. I've ticked that off. That's so easy. I'll just give a bit of a boom. Knock that out the park. You're welcome. Oh, yeah. I've been conducting a list. Before we move on, I will stop talking about this thing because I'm a bit over it as well. Before we move on, I was going to, and hopefully work with you guys because I love you guys being involved. And I think people might want to jump on this. I'm just compiling a short list of everyone in the world that I wouldn't care if the coronavirus took out. You know, now obviously I don't want anyone to die, but I'm saying obviously it's going to get a few people. So surely we can like vote, who gets shoved out. You know, everyone else is staying at home, which we shouldn't, by the way. Get out there, kiss a bird, you know, tongue punch a seal. All right, they're probably dirty. So you get that, boost your immune system. But when we're all at home, all right, there's going to be some people that are going to have to go out, work at the supermarkets. This is who should be doing it, all right? Everyone who enjoys space pineapple Zupa Dupas. Now that's going to split the room. I've just split my audience in half then. Some people probably stopped what they were doing and went, Luke, was that a death threat? I love space pineapple Zupa Dupas. Fuck oath it was. I'm just saying if you don't change your ways, the universe is going to teach you a lesson. Look at last week's podcast, okay? I never believed in that supernatural spiritual bullshit, right? Until I said, oh, guys, I think the Gold Coast is my favorite place on planet Earth. And then, boom, some guy tries to king hit me 5 minutes later. That's something out of my control. That's a higher power being like, get your head out of your ass, Luke. It's so firmly lodged up in your anal cavity at this point that you're not making sense. And the universe was spot on. The Gold Coast is not the best place in Australia. It's bottom 3, for sure. So that's it. So if you continue not throwing space pineapple Zupa Dupas in the bin, all I'm saying is karma will get you in the end, and it could get you with COVID-19. And I'm saying if that happened to those people, obviously I hope nothing does happen to anyone. Obviously that's a given. I'm just saying if it did, if it only took, this is saying hypothetically, if it only took out people who enjoyed those Zupa Dupas, I'd sleep well. That's it, you know? And I'm honest on this podcast. And if some people mightn't like that, and they're like, Luke, I respected you before this, and that's fine. That's life. You know, not everyone's. You can't make everyone like you. I'm not out here trying to make everyone like me. I'm just out here telling it like it is. You know, being me. I'm trying to be that old guy in the supermarket. That old guy. Literally, I got a new sound effect today. You know.
I make no apologies. This is me.
That's it. That's what that old guy did. There was 30 people around, and he let 30 strangers know that he had no plans on wiping his butthole for the jacked up price of $9. He was just didn't want a bar of it, and he just...
I make no apologies. This is me.
And it was inspiring, you know? He had the energy of a big chick with a beard walking into a room of rich people. That's fucking good energy. And that's something I aspire to. You know, and that's it. This podcast might be controversial, you know? Luke just threatened a bunch of people about Zupa Duper flavors. Yep, that's it. That's about as... Look, I've said this before on the podcast. That's about as provocative as my content gets. It's just food disputes. But I would say that's no more edgy than politics. You know, if anything, people care more about that. So I think that's true edge as a comedian. I keep it real. Man. So I'm recording this late at night because I've just been trying to, you know, I've just literally just been trying to make the most of being outdoors this weekend. Like literally, I just know that I assume it's all going to go to shit from here. Maybe a lockdown. Today it was announced that school holidays are being dragged forward. Just everything's probably going to shut down. They've announced the end of non-essential services already in Australia. So I just went out and I caught up with a couple of mates, you know, obviously not group gathering, just one at a time. My mate Joseph came over, Joseph Green, past guest of the podcast, you know, cheekily went to the driving range, went outside, you know, kept a wide berth of a bunch of oldies, of course, because I'm a respectful young chap. But I was like, you know what, got to make the most of it. So I am recording this a little bit late at night because the quarantine's going to begin. And I was watching the footy couple of nights ago, and AFL has really become big on a global scale in the last last week and last few days, because every other sport around the world has pretty much been cancelled except Aussie rules. I think we're only doing one round. I don't think they're going to do any more because it's non-essential, but it's very funny watching it. It's so weird. They're playing in the MCG, which is a stadium that fills 100,000 people, and there's just no one there. It's like more empty than an under-13s match of local footy. Like, at least if you go to watch like local footy or junior footy, there's dads swearing at the umpires, you know, there's people smashing meat pies, you know, there's people running the canteen, making some money for the club. There's a vibe going. Dude, it was literally like, I don't know, like going to one of Lewis Spears' shows. It was just fucking empty. It was just no one there. There's no atmosphere. It was crazy, man. And you know what else was so weird when I was watching the footy? They were disinfecting the ball at quarter time as if that was going to help. As if, like, they're literally tackling each other, like bumping each other, getting real close, high-fiving after goals and stuff. And they were like, oh, but boys, we'll definitely disinfect the ball at quarter time. That'll help. Can anyone explain why the fuck they did that? I was watching them going like, what do you do? Why is this going to help? Are you going to put hand sanitizer on the goalpost? What's the point? Are you going to dry clean everyone's singlets at quarter time? It's insane, man. They're going to drastic measures. So yeah. Oh, you know what we got into? So the footy was getting boring because it was kind of weird to watch. Like, it was just shitty to watch. There was no atmosphere. There was no one there. It was just watching like a practice game almost. That's what it felt like. And so we were sitting there. I was over it, hanging out with my brother and a couple of his mates and stuff. And we were like, man, there's this thing called marble racing. You got to get on it. Now, if you haven't heard of this, it's a real thing. It exists. There's a YouTube channel. I think it's called like Jen's Marble Racing. Hang on, I'll look it up. There'll be some people who already know what I'm talking about because it's pretty popular. And we watched the Marble Olympics for like 2 hours. It's called Gell's Marble Runs. It's a YouTube channel. It's ESPN quality coverage of live marble racing. You can get your own team. There's like 20 teams. And you just pick your team. I'm an O-Rangers fan, which is the orange marbles. And there's grandstands full of marble people. There's sometimes marble streakers. I know this sounds fucking insane if you've never heard of this, but you need to just go watch it. There's a full Olympics. There's underwater marble racing. There's sand racing, off-road. There's rafting. There's surfing, marble surfing. You just got to go check it out. Okay, this is the only live sport that will be available now. It's not live, but this is the only sport that you can watch. And there's the Winter Marble League. Goes for 2 hours. It's full commentary, 100% dead serious marble racing. And oh my God, I've never been more passionate. We started watching it as a joke. We'll be honest. Like we put it on. We're like, this guy like races marbles in his garage. 20 minutes later, as soon as I realized that I'd picked a team, I just was like, nothing else matters. This marble needs to beat the other marbles. I'm telling you, marble racing, get on it. You may have heard it here first. I feel like I've got onto it late, you know? This guy already has like 650,000 subscribers. I feel like I'm such a new fan. I'm a bandwagoner at this point. I'm jumping on an already good thing. But if you haven't got on it, get the fuck on it, all right? Invite your friends over. Pick marble teams. Oh, okay, don't invite your friends over. Do it over FaceTime, all right? Yeah, it was cool. So that's what I've been doing. I've been chilling, watching marble racing, just like living it up before everything goes to shit, you know? And one more thing, and then I will move on. I'm not going to die. I just don't think I'm going to die. This is how privileged I truly am and how confident, I guess, my upbringing and the fact that I've never had a problem. This is how, like, privileged, like, you got to get some kind of perspective. Imagine just living your whole life nothing but net, right? So that's where I'm coming from. You might be like, Luke, you said obnoxious. Fair enough. I read a study that said, again, because I'm an expert, that said 40 to 70% of people will get it. So maybe 70% of people around the world will end up getting coronavirus, right? I truly think I'm in the 30%. I really don't. I just think life's always been on my side and it would be fucked at this point for that to change. I mean, sure, I've lost my livelihood and the thing that I love doing most in the world has been banned, but I just don't think I'm going to die, you know? Huh? Yes. Yes, comedy. I love you too, but I don't want to say this, but I can still do you. Okay.
God, I hope I get the coronavirus.
Why?
Take everything away from me.
You're going to get it and be quarantined, and then I literally just like,
Lose everything.
yeah, wanking and crying. Anyway, you didn't need to come with. I didn't want this to turn into that. Sorry, Meg came in and pointed out that I was. Sorry, if you didn't hear, she said I'm the thing that you love most in the world. Which she is. She's adorable. Love her. Love her to bits. I really had a tough day today because it has been a shitty time. In all seriousness, I can't even say words. It's been shit. I've lost all the money that I was going to make this year. Lucky I've got some savings. Otherwise, I'd be completely fucked. I would have had to probably move out at the end of the year back to home. Look, everything's just gone to shit. Whatever. All I really had left was I've been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? It's a PlayStation game. It's Star Wars. I like Star Wars. Whatever. Don't judge me, okay? And I got new shoes. Fuck off. Your shoes are old. Don't even come at me, right? I bet you your shoes aren't even recently purchased. So, playing Star Wars Battlefront. This morning I had to reset my PS4 and I thought I lost everything. All the data, all my save, all my progress. Spent a lot of hours in there in Jakku, crate, building up my heroes and whatnot, getting good at this game. And that was really all I had left. I'll be completely fucking real with you all. I don't have a lot going for me at the moment. All I've got going really is this podcast, Luke and Lewis podcast, which we haven't even been able to do together because Lewis is probably dead and has coronavirus, and well, maybe not, but who knows. And that's it. And my Star Wars game. And I thought I'd lost everything this morning, and I just realized that I recovered it right before this podcast. And man, there was a real low point. There was about an hour there where I was like, I've lost everything, And isn't it funny when everyone was like, 2020 is just my year. People like at New Year's, but like, it's my year. I'm going to smash it, like, but then it started off with bushfires, which were fucking horrible. And then now this shit. 2020 is no one's year. Give up. That's another bit of advice for you. If you had an aspiration or a goal this year, throw in the towel, put your feet up, have a beer, wait till next year, because it's not going to happen unless your goal is sitting inside and not making any friends. Well, then fuck. Tick that off, because you will achieve that without trying this year. Because I reckon we're all just going to have 6 months off. So most people will be out of work. Everyone will just be chilling. Think about that. Everyone's just going to be hanging out. And there's no excuse like, oh, mate, you free for a phone call? You can't be like, I'm busy. You're going to be free as fuck. Sure, you can't see them, but you can still chill. Video games will go through the roof. Even the numbers of this podcast have started to go up. Now, I don't know if that's because of the virus or I don't know, but more people listening. I've been uploading a few clips lately, which is cool. Oh, I was checking out the analytics of this podcast. Hang on, I was going to check if I'm still recording. Yeah. I was checking out the analytics of the podcast, and it said that 25 unique listeners. You can tell where people listen from. So I know the percentage of people who listen on Spotify. I know how many people listen on Apple Podcasts, and how many people listen on their random weird like Podcast Addict and all those other apps. And it also says how many people listen on desktop iTunes. 25 people listen to this podcast every single week on their desktop on iTunes. What the fuck are you doing? If you're one of those, there's 25 people here right now just watching iTunes Visualizer, probably. Just that cool thing that like trips out, and just listening to me chat. That's wild. Why? Even if you had it up on your computer, just go to YouTube. It's easier, right? Get me that watch time. It's so weird to be listening to it on iTunes iTunes. That's crazy to me. I haven't listened to anything on iTunes in ages. That's so funny. What do I want to talk about? Oh, so last week on the podcast, I was talking about TikTok, and I uploaded a clip to my Instagram and to TikTok about me trashing, or not really trashing, just pointing out that girls on TikTok go and they do these dumb faces and stuff. And I thought it was pretty funny. So I was like, oh, that was a good bit of the podcast. I'll upload that to social media. It might be relatable, whatever. A lot of people are on TikTok. So I uploaded to TikTok. Went pretty well. And, dude, it made so many girls angry on TikTok. Which is the most fun audience or like demographic to trigger. It's amazing. I'm thinking of pursuing that now that I've got a lot of free time. Just thinking of like trying to trigger white girls on TikTok for a bit. Because by the way, not all girls, some girls are like, this is so true. I hate when people do this. But literally, some girl told me that she hopes I get coronavirus. You know what? Fair. I just told a bunch of other people I hope they get it too. I'll take that one. Everyone was back. Oh, so the girl I used as an example her name is Addison Ray. Now, I didn't know who this person was before last week. I just went to Meg. I was like, oh, I've seen a bunch of girls do this. But also like, who's just someone who does it? Because I can't be fucked to watch a bunch of TikToks to find it. She's like, oh, there's this girl, Addison, who does it all the time. So sure enough, went through her profile and found like 4 videos immediately. Now that's all the effort I'm ever going to do, right? I'm not going to go through TikTok and find numerous girls. Everyone's like, wow, he's attacking Addison. And then they started tagging the girl. This girl has 24 million followers. And all these girls are just tagging her, like going, oh my God, like this guy's bullying you. Like, you think she gives a fuck about what I'm saying about her? She's got 24 million followers. The fact that you think she would even see it is insane. You get 100 notifications. If she'd be getting 100 new notifications every second because her videos get millions of likes, she wouldn't be seeing your tags on my video. Oh my God. I was just like, these people are too young. If you're that stupid, you shouldn't have social media. If you have that much of a tiny, incy-wincy little brain, you shouldn't be on the app. It was so funny, man. It was great. Most people going like, yeah, this is great. But it was just so funny when there were girls just like, oh, this one was good. I hate when people comment this on my videos, and I get it all the time. I can't tell if you're high or not. No. I have a personality. And that's what you're mistaking is, oh, I'm not high. This is what I'm doing, okay? I'm not smoking weed. What I'm doing is being interesting. Now, that might be a foreign concept for a lot of people on TikTok, but what I was doing was entertaining people, and just because I make it, isn't it funny these days when you make like a funny face, you go like, or whatever, or you do something silly and everyone's like, oh my God, they must be wasted. I would only ever do that if I'm intoxicated. It's like, oh no, just showing emotion, showing that I'm not a fucking, droid, that I'm not a robot, that I'm actually human, and sometimes it's fun to just piss fart around, And that's it. And you know what?
I make no apologies. This is me.
That's it. So, whatever. That was very funny, man. Very interesting group. All these girls going, oh my God, this was such a personal attack on Addison. I honestly didn't know her name until you all started fucking tagging her. I was just like, oh yeah, this girl dances cool. That's a good example. Amazing, man. It's so funny to me when people get bothered by jokes. Have you seen that Lewis, my good friend Lewis Spears, all these like Americans are trying to cancel him on Instagram right now because of a joke that he filmed 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was. He's got this joke about Dreamworld, and it's about the accident where people died and stuff. And yes, it's dark humor. It's what people consider, I guess, offensive comedy, or it's edgy for sure. But this is what I was thinking. I was reading a couple of comments because he was like, dude, check this out. People are full getting mad. And these like people like going, this guy needs to be cancelled, and it has like 400 likes. Like people are getting so angry at this joke. And people are, and it's gone viral because because it's a great bit, but also because people are just arguing in the comments, which is great for Lewis because he gets more reach and they're only just helping him, and those people are stupid, whatever. So they're only helping this bit get more traction. But yeah, there's a bunch of people trying to cancel him or whatever. And I think it's so funny because this is what I think. Even if you're right, morally, right? Even if you are correct, which who cares, whatever. Even if they're right, they've all lost. If you're arguing for Lewis, if you're arguing against the joke, for the joke, you're all lost. That's it. You've all wasted your time because at the end of the day, you're all arguing about a joke. You're arguing about something that isn't real. It's kind of like people who just argue about, no, I like this Star Wars movie better. No, fucking Attack of the Clones sucks, bro. It's like, cool. Jedis aren't real. Lightsabers are fake. It's a cool concept made by George Lucas and his friends. Sorry to burst your bubble. Ewoks aren't real. And that's how I view it, is like people arguing. Whenever I see people arguing about comedy, and you see it all the time on Twitter, people trying to cancel Dave Chappelle, whatever, I'm like, you're arguing about something that he just made up. Like it's fiction. Oh wait, non-fiction. No, fiction. I'm an idiot. This is going to be I'm going to get fucking roasted for this, man. This is how little I read. Fiction? Fiction is fake, yeah? Fiction is like fake. Imaginary. Yeah, okay, cool. Man, you know you're a fucking moron when you doubt yourself. When you say the word fiction. I suck. I'm like I must be so annoying to listen to. It's like I can't even make an argument. And when I do try and make an argument, I have to dumb it down to Star Wars so I can understand it. That's not for you. That's not trying to simplify it. I know you guys all understand what I meant. I have to really dumb it down so I can intellectually grasp what is coming out of my mouth at any given time. But anyway, so I think that's all I want to talk about today, guys. I think, it's so weird at the moment. Like, not a lot. I haven't been doing a lot because no one has been, and that's fine. I don't look. So next week, these are segments that I forgot to do. Next week we are going to be doing the first one of Flex Chat. So if you do, I've been getting a bunch of emails from you all. So what Flex Chat is, if you missed it last week, it's essentially if you've just got a sick flex, whatever, and you just you just want to brag about something, but you don't have the platform to do it on. Memoirs of a White Guy. This is the platform to do it on. So send me your good flexes. It might be I got upgraded to business class. It might be like, something as simple as, you know what? We got the non-home brand Parmesan cheese, and we celebrate all the wins on this show. We celebrate the big wins, all right? Maybe you got school president, I might call you a fucking nerd, but after that, we'll be like, congratulations. Good flex. So it's any flex in your life. And we're just going to dedicate a little bit of time every week to your flexes. And so, keep them coming in. luke.kidgell@gmail.com. Any other correspondence you may have with the podcast. I will get back into reading fan stuff and that because we've kind of lost that a bit. Also, I will be continuing. I just remembered then looking at the whiteboard. I will be continuing the Pump Up Song competition because it's the longest running competition. And I was like, you know what? Let's just make it go for a few extra weeks. And I briefly did forget about it. I'll be continuing that next week. I think we've got like 2 more rounds to go. And thank you all very much for listening. We hit the charts again this week. This podcast has been off the charts for ages, out of the top 100, but we're back in there. The views are up, plays are up. Tell your friends. All right, if you like my thoughts on the world, then great. I'd appreciate if you told someone because really, this is all I have. That's what a sad way to end it, guys. This is all I have going for me at the moment. And whatever, I just upgraded my Darth Maul on Battlefront. But whatever, this is pretty much all I have going for me. So you know what? It's a bit of a sad plug, but if you want to support me on Patreon, that'd be great. We've been trying to smash out a bunch of Luke and Meg episodes. The last episode of Luke and Meg got fucking personal. I'll drop in a clip here. I won't give away the juicy stuff, but here is a moment from the last episode of the Patreon-only podcast, Luke and Meg. I could not think of a single skill that I had. I was like, all I do is comedy. All I do is this. And I could not think of one other skill. Yeah. And it was really funny, but fuck, it was sad. Because afterwards, he's like, nah, like, all jokes aside, you must do something. And I was like, I used to play guitar.
No, you've surely got more stuff than that.
You live with me.
Yeah.
What else am I good at? Be honest.
Be completely honest?
Be completely honest. If you can think of one thing, I'll be fucking amazed.
You're fantastic in bed.
Fuck yeah.
You're great.
I mean...
You surely can't be disappointed with that.
No, but I don't know if it's like a joke.
100%. No, it's...
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you're fucking terrible. So yeah, if you like the sound of that, I would love it if you are to consider jumping on the Patreon. It is truly the only thing that is supporting me financially at the moment, pretty much, because I make fuck all of YouTube. So yeah, that'd mean the world, and thank you all very much to the people who do support me on there. It's just $3 a month, and there's already a bunch of episodes up there that you can go back and listen to. And it's just, if you like the episodes with Meg and all the videos with Meg. It's pretty much like that, but we just talk about dumb shit and get way too personal into our relationship. But it's always a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you all for listening. I got new shoes. Fuck anyone who says they're old. And also, I have new shoes. Goodbye.